Hello everyone and welcome to another video all about living in Guernsey. Today we've got Fallon here who has done the jump. She's not originally from Guernsey, she's from somewhere else, and I'll let you explain, Fallon. So what I'm going to do in this video, I'm going to ask Fallon questions that I think someone who may be thinking of moving to the island or just maybe not sure about what it's like here, just to give them some more information to maybe help them decide whether they come and work here and live here, and all about what it's like with a family here. So Fallon, I know, is originally from the UK. So tell us where you're from exactly, Fallon, and how you originally even started to think about coming, or how you found out about Guernsey and how you found a job here.
I'm from Bridgewater in Somerset, and I've lived in Guernsey now for over 20 years. I was born in Taunton and I've always lived in Bridgewater. So, actually I lived in Highbridge for a little bit as well. But yeah, there's not really, Bridgewater, there's not loads going on for what I do. So I'm a qualified beauty therapist. And when I was 16, I was looking around for jobs, well 18, and there wasn't really much around really. So I thought I'm gonna try and look elsewhere, and I went on an agency, and then Guernsey come up. And I didn't even know where Guernsey was.
Which not many people do.
So I said to my nan, where's Guernsey? And then my nan was like, well, it's next to Jersey. And I was thinking, oh, okay.
Well, where's Jersey, you said?
Yeah, no, actually, I knew where Jersey was.
Yeah.
So that was handy. And so I thought, well, actually, that might not be a bad shout, because I was thinking of Australia for my first move. But that would have been a bit scary at 19 years old, I think. So I started off with a little commute to Guernsey. So I could go back home if I was feeling homesick.
And just out of interest, you may not know this, don't matter if you don't. Do you remember what website you went on to look for jobs?
Well, mine was for specific for beauty therapy, so it was just a beauty agency at that time, and they will have like jobs all over the world.
Oh, so it was more just for beauty?
Yeah.
Then? Okay.
But there are different recruitment agencies over here for like more finance and stuff like that that you can do, like Leapfrog. I can't think it's Source Recruitment, that you can do for just like accountancy and office jobs and like all sorts really. I think you could maybe find some beauty on there. So what was the process you went through? So you found... So I come over for an interview, really liked the island. Luckily I got to stay with the family while I was over. They'd arranged for me to stay the night with the family, and they were really nice. I got on with them well, and they said, look, if you get the job, we're happy for you to come and live with us. And rent a room until you find someone, which was really nice. So straight away that put me at ease. I found a job, and then they actually sorted all my licence out, so they managed to get me a 9-month licence, which was all a bit complicated, but the employers do sort that out for you, so you haven't got too much to worry about there really. Once you get the job, that's the main thing, the interviews, and come over and have a look. I loved the island straight away. I just had a good feel about it. Yeah. Although I went to town and I was just listening to conversations, and everybody was saying some words that were the same, and I was sort of noticing things and people saying A all the time, and I was thinking, what's this about? And I didn't quite get it, but... Yeah,
the Guernsey people do say A after a sentence.
And then I didn't know if I had to give feedback after A, and yeah, so that was kind of weird.
Yeah. So once you settled in the island, what would you suggest to people is a way of meeting new people, and what did you find the island life like once you'd moved here?
I found it quite lonely when I first moved here, and everyone I worked with didn't really go out or anything, so that was quite tough. I think if you do move over, maybe if you can get a job in a bigger place with more, if you're sort of younger, get a job in a bigger place where there's doing more social events and things like that. So I kind of had to use my own initiative, and I joined a netball club, and then I met quite a few of my friends from there, and that was really good. So then that started a little social circle, and it just grew from there. And then I moved to a bigger salon and met more people, more therapists that I could go out with and stuff like that, because you can't really, Guernsey isn't the sort of place where you want to go out on your own. Like if it was London, I could probably just go out on my own and go for a coffee and sit there, but you felt a bit weird just doing that in Guernsey.
Would you recommend the move to Guernsey would be for everyone? And if not, why not?
No, so I think you need to like quieter life, coast, like live by the sea. If you love the sea, then you'll love it. If you like walks, you like sort of outdoor living, lots of sports, social events going on, lots of food and foodies over here and drinking, then you'll love it. But it is very small and it takes about an hour. You can drive around the island in an hour. So I think, yeah, just think about if you want a quieter life or not. But you can get to London within like 40 minutes on the plane. So I could get to London a lot quicker living here than I could. It would be like a free 2.5 hour car journey from Somerset. So it's actually easier to get to London from here, which is good.
And what things do you miss? What haven't we got in an island compared to, for example, the UK? What things did you take for granted in the UK? And when you come here, you're like, oh, this isn't here. Of course it's not.
I think you take for granted your circle of friends a little bit, like how hard it is to then start again. And that is quite difficult over here, but eventually you find your rhythm. And then just cinema, I miss the big cinema, I miss the shopping centres, and that's about it, I think.
And obviously transportation.
I didn't mind the transportation, although I didn't drive, so I found the buses were good, but it's quite hard to get around over here if you just walk everywhere and like to do your shopping and everything, and it's quite hilly and quite hard work to go and do shopping and then get on the bus, and they're sort of not as regular as the UK, so you've got to think about all that as well. So it was much easier once I started to drive.
Yeah, and of course we do have driving tests over here like anywhere else.
Yeah.
You do have to pass a test.
So I learnt to drive over here, which was actually easier probably than learning in the UK, although the roads are really narrow, but I've just been used to that from day one. So Ross, you actually taught me to drive.
Yeah.
So he's probably still recovering from that.
Yeah, I've never really got over it. What about someone who's maybe thinking of coming to work off island and considering Guernsey or Jersey? Which would you recommend? I know there's probably quite a few details on what would count.
Island? Or?
Yeah, if they had a choice to come and work in Guernsey or Jersey, is there plus to minuses, or are they both pretty much the same?
Jersey's a lot bigger, so if you want a little bit more like better nightlife and better shops and everything like that, then probably Jersey, but it's got a bit more of a UK feel. Yeah. There's like more things for kids probably in Jersey, but there's a lot of things in Guernsey as well. Guernsey's more quaint, more different. Yeah. You feel like you're properly like somewhere different. Jersey's a little bit more commercialised.
Yeah, I would say so. I'll say Guernsey, you really have an island feel in Guernsey, where Jersey, you still have an island feel, but it feels a bit more commercialised. I think that's how I'd sum it up. Would you agree?
Yeah.
One last bit of advice you'd give to someone who's actually made the leap and they've got a job here, what's the first thing you'd tell them to do or not to do?
When they made the job?
Yeah, they're coming over in 3 weeks' time. Yeah. Maybe 3 top bits of advice you'd give them?
Just to make sure they if anyone asks you to do anything, like if someone says, do you want to go for a coffee or a drink, just do it. Yeah. Just try and be social and try and just take up any offers that people ask you. I mean, as long as it's not a complete weirdo. Yeah.
And number 2?
Number 2, just I don't really know. What do you mean, Yeah,
just any general advice you give. 3 bits of advice to someone who's coming over in 3 weeks' time. Just to go on cliff walks, enjoy the island.
Yeah, enjoy the island, get out a lot. It's good to have a dog over here. And
number 3, of course, getting tough, you put you on the spot, haven't I?
Just food, go out to some nice restaurants and have some nice cocktails.
Okay, thanks Fallon, thanks for all your advice. Maybe if you've got any comments or any questions, leave some in below. Fallon's off, and see you next time. Bye everyone.